Bring your attention in. Often our attention is very scattered between memories and things we have to do and experiences that we've had. And they say that when we're dreaming, one of the reasons that we need to sleep is that we need to process our undigested material. And it's very much that process, I think, is going on as well when we're just moving throughout the day, where often our minds are scattered and there's a bit of our thoughts are, 20 years ago, there's some that are 5 minutes ago, that are, there's other thoughts that are going into the future and wondering what's going to happen. One of the beautiful things about a meditation practice or a resting practice is that we bring our attention right into this moment. And those thoughts might be here about other times, but our focus is on witnessing them as they arise in this moment. So part of the difference is that we're not so distracted, we're not so likely to go off in a train of thought. We're paying attention to our body and our breath and to the process of observing as well. So bring your mind in from other times and other places. Anchor your attention into this moment through your body and through your breath. And through this awareness that we're watching or observing what it is that's happening in this moment. One of the first things we can notice is what's happening in our body. We have our sense perceptions. If our eyes are closed, the sense of sight becomes quieter. We still have our sense of hearing, sense of touch. It's cool and breezy where I am right now, so I can feel the gusts of air as they flow through the window. I can hear the trees are rustling a bit. So whatever is going on in your environment right around you, you'll be aware of that. And we can feel our clothes on our body. If we have a blanket, we'll feel that. We can feel where our body is resting. If we're in a chair, or if we're in a bed, or on the floor. We know what parts of our body are just touching air and what parts are touching furniture or the floor. We can focus our attention on that. That helps to ground us into this moment in time. And look to see if there's anything wrong in your environment around you. Anything that you wish was different. Anything that's concerning, where you feel like you need to keep some vigilance about that. There might be some danger there. And we have our natural system of alertness. And if we're not finding anything that we need to be concerned about, we could allow that to rest. Let ourselves settle a little bit more deeply if we don't have anything we need to be really keeping track of in the environment right around us immediately. And if we're noticing that there's something we don't like, maybe there's noise going on with the neighbor, or it's too hot or something like that, we can just notice that we've observed a preference for something else. Let that be there. We don't need to make ourselves wrong about it. We're just noticing. And then do the same for your internal environment. What's happening on the inside of your body? Is there pain? Is there some kind of tightness that you're sensing? When we tune into the body, we're always noticing the movement of our body with the breath, the flow of air in the nose, and the rise and fall of the stomach as we breathe. And notice what else is there as well. Bring your attention to the usual spots where we hold tightness, the forehead and the eyebrows. Most often we can soften that a little bit more. If there's a flurry of activity in our thought stream, let that wind down, slow down a bit. See if you can let it come to a rest. And as we're doing that, notice if there is anything that actually needs your attention right now or immediately after the practice. If there is, make a mental note of that. Or sometimes we could even make a physical note, just write it down on a piece of paper or something, and then let it go. Let your mind have a break from keeping track of things, from thinking, from worrying. Just for a while, see if you can focus your attention just on the practice. Notice your mouth and jaw, the organs of speech, down through your throat and vocal cords as well. If your jaw is tight, see if you can release it a bit. There's nothing that needs to be said or held in right now. You could move your lower jaw around a little bit. Make sure there's some room between the upper and lower jaw. And notice what there is energetically as well. There's the physical component, and there's the energetic component. It's not directly linked to physical, although they're often occurring in the same place. When we relax our eyebrows and forehead, the energy of thought often settles and becomes a little bit easier, less frantic. When we relax our jaw, often the whole area becomes softer. And notice your neck as well, the throat and the sides of the neck, shoulders, the back of the neck, the large muscles of the upper back. Notice on a physical level as well as a energetic level. Sometimes there is a sense of energy that's not really in the muscles, although the muscles might be tightening up as the energy gets more intense and relaxing as the energy settles. And it's completely natural to have thoughts about all of that. Coming back to that observer, we're having a direct experience. We can feel cool air, for instance, on the skin of our face. We might be noticing it, we might not be noticing it. We might have some feeling of sensation or energy in the throat. We certainly would have a sensation if we were to swallow. But even without that, we can have quite intense energies in all kinds of spaces or places in the body. We're just looking to see what's going on. And as we're looking, we're maintaining a bit of awareness that we are looking. The mind might be commenting. The mind might have drifted off into something else as well. Check back with the areas of your body that you've already been paying attention to. See if there's any change, the forehead and eyebrows, the energy of thought behind the forehead, any other sensations in the head, the jaw, the mouth, the neck and shoulders down into the upper back. And breathe a little bit more deeply. See if you can feel the movement of your body in your back. And around the sides of the lower rib cage and the front. Relax all the muscles that cover the rib cage. And see if you can soften everything that might be in the way of a really full, complete breath. And sometimes we're holding our stomach muscles quite tight. And we'll feel a bit of a pull as we're breathing in deeply. The little intercostal muscles between the ribs get a bit of a stretch when we're breathing in deeply. Align yourself with that natural tendency of the body to relax as we breathe out. Exhale and let everything release and soften. And inhale deeply enough that you're getting a good amount of air, but not so much that you're feeling like it's tense or too much. And really focus your attention on that continuity of the breath. As we exhale, we let the body empty of air, but not so much that we're getting anxious. As soon as we're ready, just start the inhale. And as soon as you're feeling like you've got a good amount of air, then start the exhale. And focus your attention quite keenly on that transition in the breath. Try not to lose any of your awareness of your breath for the next minute or so. Exhale. Keep your mind focused as you turn into the inhale. After a nice deep breath, let it go right into the exhale. No holding or tension in the breath. Anchor your mind to that stable rhythm of your breath. We're not working with a 3-second breath or an 8-second breath. We're just seeing what's comfortable for us right now. So you could experiment a little bit. Try a very shallow breath. Try a really deep breath. Let thoughts be in the background for a bit. Just really focus in on your breathing and what it feels like in your body. The continuity of your breath. Let yourself rest and breathe. As things come to your attention, let yourself notice them and let yourself notice that you're noticing. So we're watching what it is that comes up in a very mindful way. And when nothing in particular is coming up, we're just really focusing on the breath and on that continuity in your breath. Just as you're finishing the exhalation, move smoothly into the inhalation. Accept the nourishment of the in-breath. As you're finished your in-breath and it feels like it's just the right time, let that turnaround happen, let the breath go. It often helps the stability of the mind to focus on detail. What exactly does it feel like in your stomach muscles when you finish the inhale? How far on the inhalation can you feel the breath in the back of your throat? And where can you start to feel it on the exhale? It's warmer on the exhale, so we can't feel it as soon or as far down into the throat. We can learn a lot about the habitual thoughts in the mind too when we're just watching what comes up in thought. We could let breath move a little bit to the background and start to watch thought for a moment. Notice that there's a natural stopping or a gap in the thought, especially when we're first paying attention to it. And then a thought will come up. Notice how exactly it comes up. Is it words? Is it pictures, or both? Is it kind of floating in the back of the mind, or is it something that's really grabbing your attention? Is there an energetic response to it, or is there a train of thought that develops? If you feel that your mind is wandering off, maybe you're getting a bit bored, sharpen your focus on those details. And if your mind is feeling quite settled, then let yourself just settle into the silence. Let even the watching move to the background. And in a moment, we're going to finish the practice. And if you've had any moments of silence or real deep relaxation, just remember that now. Bring that back to your mind or to your experience. And notice how we can touch back into that just by bringing our attention to it. And set your intention that a few times at least during the day you'll touch back into that. Whatever the deepest quiet, the most relaxation that you felt, let your breath deepen. This is always here too. Even with all the activity in the world and all the flurry of thought, we can always touch back into this. And when you're ready, open your eyes.